Okay, so I was attempting to do a live stream because I have some things I have to address. I was just on Twitter and I had a bunch of people asking me why I had blocked a certain number of people. I need to talk about that just a little bit. If you don't know who I am, I'm Suzanne Tidkemeyer. I used to write a column for Pathos called No Longer Quivering that dealt with the evangelical quiverful movement and the church in general. Now, I started this channel back when Pathos was bugging all of us to use alternate types of social media to build an audience. So I set up a Twitter and this, and I've been working on it ever since. I gotta tell you guys, I am very close to deleting my entire channel. I mean, very close, and taking down my Instagram, my Twitter, and everything else. Why? Because there are people that will go real life in really crappy ways. So 2 or 3 months ago, somebody popped up on Facebook, on on YouTube, and a couple other places as me. They had used photographs of my family from my Facebook. They had used a ton of stuff from my Facebook account. And my Facebook is set so that only my friends can see all my information. So it was someone on my friends list that did this to me. So then I started thinking, look at all the stupidity in the anti-KJ community. And I'm not talking about everybody. I'm not talking about Aaron. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just talking about those people that have started the S, the H, the I, and the T. And you know who you are. I stopped covering KJ at that time because the person doing this went after my grown children. I believe they tried to contact them at one point even. And it just got ridiculous when I saw that somebody was doing this. It was pretending to be me. I was pretty upset and got them shut down pretty quickly. But it left me to start thinking, my Twitter account is one thing. My Facebook account is mostly real life friends and family, and only a handful of people from the anti community, maybe 5 or 6, not even that many, that I knew on Facebook and I knew on Twitter. So I knew somebody on Facebook had done this to me, and I made the decision, rather than go on here and whine and cry like I'm Unirock or others, that the best thing I could do is to practice what they do in Great Britain, least said, soonest mended, and go ahead and drop off and block that handful of people, because it had to be one of them that had done this to me. And I was not in the mood to play 20 questions with everybody and run around, make a big deal about this thing. Least said, soonest mended. So I just dropped all those people off, like 5 or 6, and I blocked them. I blocked them on Twitter. I blocked them on Facebook, because whoever gave this person my photos and information and took the step of trying to reach out to my kids has clearly stepped over a pretty horrible line. This day has been I am just going to call it what it was. It was a crappy day. I got up to no electricity and no water. They were working on both. And the problem with no electricity is this. No air conditioning. Susanna, no air conditioning is very cranky. So I had this incredibly bad day with my husband driving like a maniac and this pile of things I needed to do online. So we didn't get electric until like 5 o'clock, 4:35, somewhere in there. And the water still isn't that good. So I'm sweaty. I spent the day at the plant nursery buying plants, drawing out what I wanted the yard to look like, telling my husband we're re-landscaping the front yard, the backyard. So I did the first things. I removed all those awful peace lilies that were everywhere here that required mucho watering, and the same thing with the gingers, and replaced them with native, more friendly water plants that don't take much water. So that was step one, to clean out all the planters and replace them with things I don't have to water every 15 minutes. So that was the only good part of the day. The day was pretty crappy other than that. So I finally get online and everybody's losing their mind because they finally figured out I blocked them. I don't know who did that to me, but here's the thing. Everybody's saying, well, you got to talk to this person, talk to this person, talk to this person. I only have to do a couple of things. One of them is stay of the color of my skin, stay the color of my skin, and die. Oh, and maybe pay taxes. Those are the three things that I cannot change, that I cannot weasel out of doing. And that's really it. I don't have to talk to anybody about anything. I didn't even have to spill the beans on this. I had not planned on it. But somebody is out there upset and they're running their mouth. And all I can say is, I'm sorry to do that to you. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. But at the same time, you have to understand, if I can't figure out who did this, then the best thing I can do is to erase everybody off my Facebook that's not friends or family that I don't know. Number one. And number two, block the people who were friends of mine on Twitter and Facebook, because it's one of those 5 or 6 people that did this to me. That they may have not have done it directly. They may have just um, picked up the photos, the info, and passed them off to this other person. That's possible too, but I don't know who did that. I don't want to take any chances. So my Facebook now is just people I know in real life and family. That's it. It has nothing to do with anything to do with my Twitter, my book, anything else. And quite frankly, I am so tempted to delete my channel and delete all my social media except my Facebook, and just work on my book and say to hell with everybody and everything, because none of this is worth it in the long run for a lot of us. I see people like nonsense running their mouths all the time and accusing everybody of everything and saying, oh, you have no real blah, blah, blah. And I have real things in my life. I have real things I've done. I have real things I'm working on. And I don't need the BS and I don't need the drama. I don't need people that are going to act like this to me, that they're going to pretend to be my friends and then steal my personal photos and use them, use pictures of my kids, and send me threats about my kids. I mean, who does that? Who goes real life in that way? Just because of Katie Joy or some, I don't know, getting beams from Mars or something. I don't even know. But lately, I felt this more and more, that this is just a circular, you know what. And I'm looking at people and things, and I'm looking at people running their mouths, and it's like, why are you doing this? So that's my frustration evening. If you know who took my photographs and you want to tell me, that would be good, and my information. Because at least I could unblock this person if I knew that. But the way it stands right now, I'm not even open to having a discussion because I suspect them. And I'm one of these people, once you've lost my trust and good opinion, it's really hard to regain it. And it's sad, but that's just the way it is. Okay, you guys, I've got some videos I'm getting ready to post of us driving around and exploring different areas, including going to the plant nursery today. I had to shut it off when I got there because walking around that plant nursery is a hassle. I need every eye on the ground. But I'm going to post those shortly. Okay? Love you guys that are still watching. I know that seems to be few and far between from looking at my subscribers, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm still not sure. And when things like this happen, it definitely makes me happy that I was not on Twitter all day. That I was off because of because it is. See, I think I'm going to start putting a alarm on my computer where it'll lock me out after so many hours online or so many minutes, because can just suck you in and get so time consuming. And for what? Okay, you guys, take care of yourselves.